Today we're going to talk about a very real issue, and it's actually something that I really believe is important. And that is when you're in the mood, you have a place to go. Okay, that's the message here. Okay, a place to art. When inspiration hits, I think a lot of people have to go through a little bit of a setup. Okay, unless you have a dedicated studio, which, great. If you want to do art, you've got to go and get your art supplies out and probably put down something, and you got to make sure that you have an easel, or you have to get your paints laid out, and it's a big production. That is not what I want to do when I'm in the mood, okay? Let me tell you right now. Now, why is that a problem? Because usually, I don't know, at least for me, that it's so precious, that inspiration. I keep using that P word. It's so fragile. It's so fragile, that state of creativity that you want to get those ideas out. Having a place that you've set aside to make art is really a great thing if you can. Now, I understand that not everybody has, some people might be in a dormitory, some people might be, in a mansion. I don't know where you live. The point is, try to make a space for art. And depending on the type of art you're doing, there's all kinds of solutions. So, what are some of the things that I think are most important that you have? Well, if you're painting with solvents or anything, ventilation, a window is a great thing if you can. Having access to natural light, looking outside, these are all good things that help you with your art. Don't paint in a dark dungeon like I do. Surround yourself with inspiration, okay? Now, for me, one of the things that really holds me back, and I've kind of mentioned this before, but it's real. I have obsessive compulsive disorder. It's so bad. I literally sit in the dark because if there's lights on and I see things out of place, it bothers me and I have to fix it. And I never sit down. I'm just running around the room, 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 running around the room. It's a hot mess, so I just sit in the dark and nobody can find me. Space that you're not afraid to make a little mess, okay? Because even if you don't have obsessive compulsive disorder like me, run around the room, it's important that you don't feel like you have to hold back, okay? If you want to get all Jackson Pollock with it, if you want to drip, you go ahead and you drip, okay? You want to be able to drip freely, okay? I drip all the time. It's kind of gross. When you drip or do any kind of art, you can't be afraid to make a mess. You can't be afraid to let things happen freely, flow. There's a lot of flow going on with art, I think. If you have limited space, we've got things like easels that mount directly on your wall, so they take up no floor space. If you like to draw, you just need a table, okay? I'm not trying to sit here and say that you need all kinds of fancy equipment. That would be the exact opposite of the kind of messages that I'm trying to put up here on the YouTube, okay? What I'm trying to tell you is you don't need a lot of stuff. If you can get that stuff, great, if it would help you have a place to art. But I'm going to tell you the number one place to make art, my number one, outside. I think that's the best place to make art. It doesn't cost anything. Going outside is a great place. There's tons of inspiration. There's tons of beauty in the natural world. And I highly recommend going out there and doing art. Arting in public, if you recall, was one of our earlier artist problems. You have everything you need as long as you can go outside. If you live in one of those like bubbles on Mars, I don't know how you're watching this. I really don't. That's going to be an interesting movie. Do you see that movie coming out? Having a dedicated place to art is very important, I think, for anybody that wants to continue to create, not having to wait. When you get inspired, you can go right into making your art, and that's a beautiful thing. Find your space, okay? Find your solution, and find me on the Instagram at Mike Not Jerry. Yeah, again, with the plug. Why not? So now it's share time, okay? I'd like you to share. Do you have a dedicated place to art? And if so, where is it? What is it? Tell people, give people ideas. We're here to share ideas. That's the whole point. And share this video, okay? I usually don't ask for anything, but please, let the word out. We're having fun on this thing. I keep telling people you're having fun. You are having a good time. The story is that, you know the movie I'm talking about?
The movie where they made The Martian into a teen drama?
Exactly. It looks like an interesting concept. So the concept is, yes, it's the Martian Bubble Boy combination.